The love of your life has lost interest in you. She hates you, she's pulling away, and you want to retract her. Now, we'll quickly go over a few reasons why this video is so important for men to watch in today's world. Reason number 1, you should learn from your mistakes. Number 2, it's good to know what works and what doesn't when it comes to dating. Number 3, no real man likes to taste defeat. And number 4, if you could figure out what you did wrong and you were a bit drawn to the woman, why wouldn't you try to get her attention again? So when your woman starts to pull away and lose interest, this video is extremely necessary because I'm going to bring some massive clarity with the impact. Now, let's talk about point number 1. What's the why? What the fuck actually happened? What went wrong? Why do women seem less interested in men than ever? Well, first of all, we live in a world that has too much going on. A world that's overstimulated. The truth is that most women today are overstimulated in every way possible. You have to realize that she has all the social media apps and gets hundreds of texts every day on all of them. Because of this, you have to realize that she has a million choices with a million different kinds of men, some of whom might be better, richer, more handsome, stronger, and more successful than you. And all she has to do to know she's wanted is look down at her phone. Listen closely, because this is the ruthless reality of being a man. Because she knows she's wanted by other men, she can sleep well at night, knowing that if she doesn't make any of these guys a priority, it doesn't matter, because when she wakes up the next morning, those choices will still be there. So what happened? Why did this happen? What really went wrong? It happened because we have too much to do, because we live in the age of technology, and you can't do much to change it. Which means that the first and most important thing you need to know is that the main reason a woman pulls back is because she feels insufficient and weak. If she was really interested at first, you have to look at how people date today. If she likes how you look and how you talk, that means she likes who you are as a person and admires your personality. Once she got to know you, the only thing that happened was that you made some serious mistakes that lowered her interest in a man-to-woman interaction. Any form of weakness, whether it be over-validating or over-complimenting, devoting too much of your time, energy, or concentration, or failing to appear to be a high-value man, will hurt you in the long run. Another thing not frequently talked about is her past experiences with sexual submission. Her ability to sincerely desire to be with you will decrease the more times she has submitted to a man sexually, and the more men who have penetrated her, because this contributes to overstimulation. If she's overstimulated when it comes to your cell phones, apps, these sorts of things, chances are she's going to be overstimulated at one point in her sex life, which means it's your responsibility to let these women go and understand that not all women are in it for a lifetime-long journey. This means that if you were the guy who offered no excitement, no thrill, who entered this situation without providing any emotional spikes, who entered this situation without teasing in any way, shape, or form, you're going to experience these problems. Now, what to do? What do you do as a man once this has happened? Well, first off, you have to withdraw her currency. You have to withdraw her sexual currency. What that means is a woman's sexual currency is going to be that man's time, that man's attention, and that man's validation. A woman does not crave sex in the ways a man craves sex, right? Men are validated through knowing that they can go to those levels with a woman. However, women do not get validated knowing that they can go to those levels with a man because every man wants the same thing. However, the currency is the things that you're giving her or stimulating her outside of the bedroom. You have to understand that most men, when they get a breakup, when they get dumped, when they get cheated on, they want to fix it instantly. Instead of withdrawing their currency that she wants, Most men simply don't withdraw. They still Snapchat her daily. They still have streaks with her. They still talk to her on a day-to-day basis. And because of that, they show weakness. It shows that they can't move on. It shows that they can't live without her. So you have to spot where you overvalidated. And as you spot where you overvalidated, what you must do is you must shift your demeanor to be more masculine. You should find more ways to demonstrate non-neediness and focus on your purpose. Consider how you could have demonstrated better use of your time than just sitting there watching Netflix or going on random one-night stands with some hooker who's diagnosed with AIDS. Ultimately, you have to understand your direction and your ability to weed out a lot of these women so you can stay focused on your path as a man. This will lead to the highest long-term return on investment and the highest long-term success with a woman. So, why does this work so well? It works so well because modern women want attention from all men, and that one man who makes it a bit of a chase, the one man who makes it just a little bit harder. What you've got to realize is she constantly has a big question mark going off in her head about that guy, and she wonders, why is it that this guy was able to walk away? Why is it that this guy put himself first? Why is it that this guy did not need me? And that rings a bell. That makes her want you even more. Women today want all men to pay attention to them, but the problem is that perceived value is now covering up real value in the world. Today, a man doesn't usually have to do a lot or show that he has strong masculine traits. All he has to do is show that he has these traits by making better use of his time, having a lot of friends, and showing that other women might be interested in him. This has moved away from real-world value and more toward how well you can protect and provide. This has moved to things like a man's social rank, charisma, or even the number of people who follow him on Instagram. These are things that women look at. Because of this, a man's real-world value, his true worth, has become less important than his imagined value and what he can show on the outside. This is bad, but it's a characteristic of women. But this is how things are going in the world. I don't think you should play this game. You will be much happier if your vision, goal, and the rules you live by as a man are all focused on creating real-world value. The most important thing I want you to remember is that if you're in emotional pain, it might be because a woman broke your heart. Maybe she lost interest, maybe she pulled away, or maybe you liked her a lot and she cheated on you. You must show strength when you're actually weak, and you can appear weak when you're actually strong. Make a list, and whether you think that sends mixed messages or not, this will teach you to finally be in charge of your feelings and to have confidence even when you're scared to death to do so. You have to realize that the more you let that small 100-pound woman tell you what to think, the less time, energy, and focus you have to put on your job out here. This is what I want you to remember. Be with someone because they complete you, because they are your other half. Who you pick to be your partner in life is of the utmost importance. Every man writes his own fate, his own destiny, and his own story. And I applaud whatever path you go down, as long as it's one that builds you up. Just as the great writer, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, once wisely stated, "Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do."